Hey guys, it's J here. So this is the game that I made for my computer science class actually, and at first I thought it was gonna be like an okay game and all stuff, but when it came all out and done, it was actually kind of pretty cool. So this game here is called Wizard Run. At first we were trying to make like a metroidvania type of game. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a game where you get power-ups in this like non-linear world and try to progress through the world and all that stuff. But that wasn't the point of the class. The point of the class was to make something kind of technical. So it was something like along the lines to make something very unique. So we had to build from the ground up that idea to something completely different. So instead of a Metroidvania game, we went with a platformer game where the levels generate every time you enter the portal differently. So every time you play this game, it's going to be 100% different. So that's actually called procedural content generation, if I recall correctly. And so that's what it is. Now, I know this is not a Minecraft video or anything of that some sort, but I kind of wanted to show you what I'm doing during my university sessions and stuff. And this is one of the things I did was make a video game. So we're going to press any button to continue, and we're going to start this up. So we were actually a group of 3 that were playing this game. And well, a group of three that made this game. I basically just did the scoring on all the bouncing stuff. That one person did the PCG sort of stuff, and that person did the graphics and all that stuff. So this is actually all like original, like drawn graphics from this guy. And I gotta say, this guy has got a lot of talent for making these graphics and stuff. He also made the music too, which was kind of interesting. Now the sound balancing and all that stuff, not really there because we had 3 months to make it. So there's a lot of things that I'll save out this video where we didn't have a chance to make it or finish it because, well, it's a 4-month course. If we had a year or so, maybe we could finish this. I don't know if we'll actually like do anything with this. So anyways, we got a crow here saying, "Oh hey, another wizard. This castle's weird. You won't stand a chance in here without my help." He put together a nice tutorial for such an occasion. That portal behind you will lead you there. Check it out. I tried real hard on it. So he also built the tutorial levels and stuff. So this here on the left actually takes you to the tutorial level, and on the right takes you to the actual game. So we're actually gonna go through here. Hopefully the sound's not too loud, because if it is, then I have to lower it. It's a little bit, it's not too loud, but I'll just give it a nice good lower. I've actually tried to like work on this beforehand, but let's just lower this to maybe a smidge. There we go. So yeah, this is the tutorial level. Basically, if you walk on a sign, it tells you what to do. So we actually designed this for more of a controller game, but I'm using a mouse for this. So I had to fix this beforehand in order to actually make this work for my recording, because it wasn't working because we made it more for the controller than we did for the actual like keyboard. So yeah, you can double jump it. You can see right there there's a jump indicator. So let's actually try to pick up this power up here. So this power up here actually increases your jump by 1, and actually you can get more of these, and they will add up to your jump total and all that stuff. We've got also the fact that you can aim like so. That's how you can show the indicator and all that stuff. Actually, fun fact, we made this originally for the computer and not for like a controller at all. So we had to add this little aimer thing here to make it kind of cool. So yeah, you can shoot like so. Shoot a lot. I don't think you don't really need it that much in the first levels and so, but once it gets harder and harder, you'll definitely need it. And then we pick up this thing, you're like, what the heck is this? So you can actually change to different weapons. So if you find this in the game, which also randomly generates as different power-ups and enemies, you can get one of these things that explode. And the downside is they don't fire rapidly like the other one, so they have a cooldown, so you have to kind of like bounce between the two. Now once you get it, you permanently have it until you die. So yeah, you can change between the abilities by pressing Q and E on the keyboard. This thing here, you might not actually see it if I ever decide to release this. This is the wall of death, which basically is if it tries to if you stand still for a certain long time, you might actually get chased by a wall, and that wall actually will kill you if you touch it. It doesn't happen really often in the early levels because we made it slow. And during our playtesting, we actually kind of realized that this thing here, a lot of people thought it was like one of those things, like an actual like shooter thing that was just a big small like bullet, but that's actually a shield. We didn't have time to like really make the animation for that, but it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool how that was done. Alright, so in front of us is a pit. You normally want to avoid these, but I've hooked up one that leads you back to the castle. Hop in. Now yeah, usually when you play this game, if you fall down a pit, you're dead. And yeah, that's the one thing we gotta know here. There's only 1 life when you play this, and you're probably thinking, why would it be 1 life for a platformer game? Now I tried to go for something actually unique here, where it's actually like those runner games, like not like Temple Run, but it has the same concept of like Temple Run, where you're supposed to like run as far as you can and like try to get a high score. But it's not 3D of so sorts. I'd say it's more close to Jetpack Joyride, but also you can also control your movement left and right, so it's not like that in a sort of way, because the only thing you can control in Jetpack Joyride is the jump ability. So let's just hop into the portal. And before we do, you can actually shoot the crow, and he'll say something like that. Now, we're going to program it where he would do something different if you kept shooting him, but we never actually got to that point, because once again, when we had 4 months to program this, it was a Tuesday of what we had to add and what we had to keep in. Alright, so once you enter, you have a chance of entering 4 different areas. The one we entered was the castle area, so we're just going to keep running through here, and we're going to see how far we go. So, this also, you might have noticed that these aren't angry envelopes. They're actually just characters with they're just characters with a mad face. Now they're supposed to be they're supposed to be a little bit more different in such a way that they're supposed to be like different unique characters. But we also ran out of time for that, and that's the one thing we kind of like noticed in this playthrough, is that you kind of run out of a lot of things to do when you do this. And so, as you hear right there, the music fades, and now we're in a different world. And as I said before, the worlds actually do change every time. So, like, every time, like, if I died again and go to this cave world, I won't be playing the same level. There's, like, a very, very unlikable chance that that would happen. It'd be, like, very, very unlikely. Like, I would have better chances of getting struck by lightning, I think. That's how unlikely it is to get the identical stage. Because we did set it in such a way that based on the difficulty, it will change the level, and also based on what power-ups you have, like your jump ability, that will also change too. So yeah, that's something really interesting to know. So yeah, now we're in this world, which is the Sky World. Now, we've shown 3 out of the 4 places you can possibly go into. And the one thing I found really cool was he actually made music for each of the stages. So it'd be like, it's very interesting that he was able to do all that stuff. Like, I thought we'd had to go to like an acid store, where you have to like download our own music and all that stuff, and like, I don't know, maybe go to like Kevin MacLeod or like Creative Commons site to get like some music. But no, he made all the music, which I found to be very astonishing, because I didn't think we had have all the time to like make like our own assets and stuff when we were developing this. So yeah, I still find that to be very cool of him to do. So yeah. As you see right there, we didn't change the level, because sometimes you can spawn in the same level. And you just notice behind me that wall of death was chasing me. Now, see, this thing will actually kill me if I touch it, but we're going to keep moving forward. As you see right here, I forgot to mention what this enemy does. So this enemy shoots projectiles, but also if you use that, you can like remove the projectiles from hitting you. But one thing I've kind of also noticed was that you can also shoot the projectiles, which I don't know if that was intentional or not, but you can shoot the projectiles, which I found to be really, I think, I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but I don't think that was supposed to be intentional, if you know what I mean. So, let's see. So yeah, those ones are also the ones that shoot bullets, and these are the ones that, like, ram you. So if you hit these guys, they will actually knock you far pretty back. They'll knock you back pretty far. And also, if you right-click them, you can also repel them away, too. And yeah, as you can see right there, the wall of death isn't really too scary right now, because for one, we want to make it so at least you can play through the first few levels and like try to get a grasp and an understanding of this. We were trying to consider to add a hardcore mode where it take you right into the very hardness of the game, but as again, like, I'm gonna be saying like a bunch of things we were planning to do in this game, but we could because of the time constraints, because that's basically what that course was what can you make for a very technically appealing game in a certain amount of time. And so since we went with creation of like unique worlds through the process of like, oh my gosh, I almost died there, through the process of like randomly generation of maps or levels, we couldn't really do much after that. Like, we just had to, after that we were like, okay, let's just add nice unique levels, add some enemies, and we'll call it a day, because once again, we kind of had to make it some sort of way where the core gameplay was just somewhat engaging. Like, the score was almost like a thing we made in 2 weeks before the deadline, so The scoring in the tutorial levels were like a day before the deadline, which was actually very accomplished for last minute work. But you know, that's in university, procrastination kind of can work, but not too much as you think it would be. So like, I don't know, I just don't know, man. So yeah, as you might have noticed, the game's gotten more and more enemies as I progress through. I'm actually taking this really slow, but I can do this a lot more faster if I really needed to. Okay, so we're gonna go through here, and I don't think there's only one. Okay, yeah, this is the level, the 4th level that you can possibly get into. So this is the library one. Our person that drew all this stuff said he kind of wanted to make a different background, but he took previous assets from our previous like alpha, or not even previous alpha, but our previous like prototype, which had like a library room. But again, it's just like, yeah, we just ran out of time to do that too. But yeah, I feel like this video is like more like trying to show you like, well, if you ever take a class where you design a video game with a group, this is what like you're gonna be getting yourself into, because you want to do all this stuff also simultaneously, but it just turns out you can't, you know. And so I feel like for some of the viewers out there, you might not even be interested in like video game design, but I feel like there is a few people out there watching this probably like, oh, this is very interesting, and they probably want to understand like how the thought process of video games in general just kind of work for just developing it in general. So yeah, as you see, I saw right there, the wall of death actually did get a little bit faster, and also if you also notice on the top right, my score's increasing a lot more faster based on the fact that I've been at higher levels. So I made it so such a way you can't gain points by running backwards and forth, but whether how far you progress in the map. Oh shoot, that's almost a death right there. So yeah, if you're also wondering where the high score is, because we haven't actually seen it yet, it's not, we didn't actually plan this out right away, but oh my goodness, they're starting to get a lot more faster now. And oh my goodness, there's the wall right there behind me. But if you press actually the pause button, it actually shows you where the score is. And from the looks of it, I will be beating my score from the previous high score that was on here. Actually, when we did the demo for this game where a bunch of people like came and played our game, no one could beat my high score, which was about like 80,000 on that console. And I don't know if it's maybe because I played this game a little bit too much, or maybe it's because I did play this game too much. But that's also another thing you have to consider, is when people play your game, you have to take into consideration that they have no idea what your game is. And so you have to make the game very easy to understand. So when I saw some people playing this, I didn't expect them to play like how I expected to. It was like sometimes they'd be like walking like this, and then it'd be like, oh, actually I better just not be doing that right now. But they wouldn't understand that they had a double jump. So we actually had to add the jump counter based off the first like feedback we got in the game, because no one realized there was double jump. But I feel like for me, as a person that plays a ton of video games, that kind of like comes by like knowledge of, if you can't make the jump, maybe you have something like that. But you have to like kind of realize not everyone's like super like knowledgeable about video games. I'm not gonna say super good, because that's not true at all. It's just that people aren't knowledgeable about video games when it comes to like gaming, and how like some games are expected to work and how they expect it to work. Also, yeah, we do have a health meter on the top left. I am pretty low on health, so if I actually die pretty soon, it's probably because the levels have gotten a lot more harder now, so I can't make any more stupid mistakes. Oh shoot. But as you haven't seen, we haven't gotten any of those power-ups that we've seen in the tutorial, and I died right there. But yeah, it's really interesting of how this all went through. I found this to be a really fun experience, just to make this game with a group of people and just have fun doing it. I actually had fun doing it, and I had fun like trying to figure out what was wrong with the game and like what needed to be fixed. So I was like the critic that would try to figure out what needed to be fixed and all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to release this, or just something for fun, as you guys can play with a download. I can't post a download link, because I have to ask everyone first in the group if they're okay with that, because, well, one thing's for sure, that's not really fair if I just decide to go, here's the download link, because I feel like that. So I have to ask them if it's okay. So I'll definitely ask them if it's okay, and if it is, I'll give a little update on that, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. So if you like this video, you can drop a like, but we're gonna wrap this up here. So see you guys later, and hopefully we'll post some Minecraft content now, or even just content in general. Bye.